Hello everyone, Tez Plavenieks from Windsurfing UK here, and as the print version of the magazine are just dropping, and you'll note the awesome cover with Adam Sims on the front there, I just thought it would be an idea to give you guys a shout and just give you a bit of an update in terms of where we are as a magazine. As I say, the print mags are just landing now to those who've subscribed, those who've bought single issues. The digital version as well is available. That's been available for a few days, and that's usually the way we do things. We drop the digital version first and then the print mag follows suit after it's come back from the printers. So far, obviously this being the first one of 2019, we're getting amazing support and feedback from you guys, which is great. That's both the industry and everyday readers and windsurfers alike, which is brilliant. So great there. I'd just like to take this opportunity to say thank you for all the support to date. Last year was very much a case of trying to raise awareness about the magazine. Obviously windsurfing has been around for a while now. It's evolved to a point, and windsurf media has followed suit, but we are very much trying to do something different. We're trying to bring it back to the level of you guys, and that's what's actually going on at the beaches when it's windy, even when it's not. And with that I mean we're looking at lightwind windsurfing again. There's a bit of a resurgence of interest in lightwind windsurfing. I think kick-started a little bit by the whole foiling thing, but not everybody wants to foil. Some people are getting back into the whole cruising, floating around in sub 10 knots on maybe longboards or race boards. Those who read the magazine or follow the website regularly will have noticed we got hold of the Windsurfer LT one design, which we were super happy to get hold of and test, and that's the revamped version of an old school classic, tweaked slightly to make it more applicable to windsurfers these days, but still very much aimed at that sort of cruising around lightweight windsurfing end of the spectrum, which ultimately is just about getting on the water. Okay, there's the high power, full power, wave sailing, jumping, all of that kind of part of windsurfing, which is great, and we do cover that, but we appreciate wholeheartedly that not everybody has the skills to go and charge mast high bombs, nor even the want to go and do that. Some people are just happy to get on the water in the sunshine when the weather's good and potter around, and to be honest with you, that is great, because that is also part of windsurfing and has remained part of windsurfing since the sport started. It's just that it has been omitted from coverage in the past. We are trying to set the record straight on that. We are trying to cover that. We will be covering that, along with the full power aspect as well, because obviously that is part of it. I've already mentioned foiling, that too, because all these elements make up the colourful world of windsurfing and the sport that you and me and everybody else into the whole thing loves. With that in mind, however, we want to hear from you. We very much have an open door policy. We are open to feedback. I am open to feedback. You can find my contact details on the website. The open door policy is there for a reason. We want to hear from you. We want the interaction and engagement from you. We want to hear what you think of the magazine, but we also want to know what you want to see in the magazine. We'd love your contributions. You may have seen profiles in the past of various different sailors. Some of those are pro level. Some of those are what you would probably call semi-pro, and we also want to continue to cover people who are nowhere near pro, because everybody who windsurfs has a unique story, and that story is interesting, and to convey that story is important, because that shows what windsurfing is like on many different levels. So it doesn't matter if you are a slalom competitor out there smashing it on the race course, give us a shout. We want to hear from you. It doesn't matter if you're happy floating around on a duck pond on your 1980s longboard or whatever. We want to hear from you. We want to see you. We want to know what gets you sort of stoked with windsurfing, what gets your juices flowing as far as windsurfing goes. On the sort of point of kit as well, we'd also quite like to hear from anyone that has favourite bits of kit from yesteryear, because windsurfing nowadays, as I've already said, has evolved to a point where we've got a long and rich history and heritage, and we want to hear about that, the nostalgia element, if you like. If you want any proof that that is a big engagement area, for want of a better term, check out the Old School Windsurfers group on Facebook. That group has so much interaction, it's unbelievable. And we want to do the same. We appreciate, as I've already said, not everybody goes out on the latest and greatest kit. Some people are quite happy to still be using the gear that they started off on, and that's great. That's part of the sport as well. We want to hear from you. And then every other area, like I've already said. If you are a hard charging wave warrior, maybe underground, maybe you're not looking for coverage, maybe you're not sponsored at all, maybe you're just happy to jet off on a forecast to some far-flung reaches of the universe and score the most hardcore conditions. And sometimes people might not know who you are and what you're doing. But again, we'd love to hear from you. Basically, it's all good. And when I say all, I mean all, the whole lot to do with windsurfing. There are also many offshoots and synergy subjects, if you like. For instance, I know a lot of you out there windsurf and mountain bike. And apparently, so I understand it, mountain biking was originally found to be the perfect light wind sport by a whole bunch of windsurfers. And again, as I understand it, the windsurfing industry is littered with the mountain biking industry is littered with windsurfers. So again, there's a synergy there as well. Windsurf, of course, that's the obvious bridge between stand-up paddleboarding. Some of you may or may not like SUP, but that is the bridge between the two sports. And there are a whole load of other areas as well. In past issues, we've covered things like Windsurfing Widows, where we actually had an in-depth profile on Gina Chippington, thank you Gina, star there, and sort of got her story and found out what it was like to be following around her other half, Simon. Again, hello Simon. You know, there's so many different ways to spin this, and there are so many different areas. It doesn't have to be the usual, the staple, the things that you've seen in the past, the stuff that actually has kind of made windsurfing media a bit stale. Yes, wave sailing, yes, slalom racing, all of those high performance aspects are all good. We are part of the same sport. We love those aspects as well. But there's many other things. I keep saying this. Give us a shout. Let me know. Let us know. We want to hear from you. Obviously not everything can appear, not everything, you know, is applicable, but there are many areas that are, and we want to hear about those and try and do something different. Also, as far as kit testing goes, I laboured this point a little bit in a Facebook post that we put out there, but we are not in the habit of doing category testing. What we are tending to do and what we want to do more of moving forwards is take key, interesting or different products from the usual brands, yes, but also there are loads of other different brands out there as well, and we want to take a broad snapshot of that equipment and focus and spend time with these key, interesting or different pieces of equipment and actually deliver more in-depth test reports, which hopefully, again, will provide more interesting content for you guys and something that you can get your teeth into a little bit more. Plus, provide a broader snapshot of what's actually available. So again, give me a shout, give the guys in the office a shout. That'll be Anne and Pete, who work with me on the magazine. We're always happy to hear you. There are many forms of communication open. Use them, drop me a line, tell me what you'd like to see, tell me what you don't want to see, give us some feedback. It's all good. As I say, the current issue is available. You can get that via the Windsurfing UK website. You'll find that under the subscription page. You can buy single issues, you can subscribe for a year, you can buy just digital, or you can have print and digital. And then of course there's the website as well, which we put out content relevant to windsurfing. It's all there, okay? Keep an eye on Windsurfing UK social media channels for updates. And hopefully it's going to be a nice, warm, windy or happy windsurfing season. I'll see you out on the water. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.